street has a whole series of perfect examples of that, as the mayor and his team and local business leaders and lenders and state government and others have come together block by block, piece by piece, to help this city reimagine itself and become a much greater and better place for the people who live here and for the people who will choose to live here. First time I ever met Mayor Fiorentini, at this point I was probably somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago. I came up here to visit with him when I was running for office, and we went for a ride. And I guess he does this with almost everybody. And he took me around the city and he talked to me about all the different projects and all the different streetscape work that had been done over the course of the first 70 years of his time in office. But the point was, it was a beautiful story about the reimagining and the recreation of Haverhill. And that story is one that people continue to participate in writing new chapters in. And the folks who participate in writing those new chapters, they come from all over the place. And they represent all sorts of different organizations and entities, public and private. And it's a really great thing. And as somebody who's here again to have a chance to participate in celebrating another chapter in that story, I think it's important for us to remember that. And the other thing I want to say about Sal, first time I met Sal was also probably 10 years ago, maybe more. I came up to visit and just talked to him about what he was doing with his Riverside project in Lawrence. And honestly, this was when that Riverside project was this big as opposed to this big. And I think the biggest, at that time, the large lines and drawings and all the rest, and I remember thinking at the time, well, it's nice to have ideas. And what's basically happened since then is Sal and his team, working with local officials, state officials, lenders, and others, have managed to create and that's a tribute to his ability to think differently about sites that people haven't thought about differently in a really long time. But it's also about, once again, people with a lot of different stations in life coming together to find ways to reimagine, recreate, enhance, improve communities across Massachusetts. And I think that's what Massachusetts and America are supposed to be about. And I really hope coming out of wherever this whole thing ends, once all the votes get counted, is more people, especially those of us in public life, get and understand that. And I have no idea if that has anything to do with what was in my prepared remarks, but it was blowing so hard I just kind of went with it. And I'm really pleased to be here. Again, I'm very excited to all the folks who are part of this team. It's great to see you, Secretary Kennealy. These folks had a role to play in this. Brian Dempsey, we miss you on Beacon Hill, but I've told you that before. It's great to see Ron Walker, who was the Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development in our administration, and certainly knows what a Mass Hire Office is all about and what a culinary institute associated with a community college can do for people in a community. And Mr. Mayor, of course, it's great to see you as well, and to see that your community is continuing to thrive under your leadership and with the help and support of so many of the people who are here today to celebrate this event. And with that, I will stop and turn it back over to Sal.
You know, he's 100% right. You know, I'm looking down at my notes and I'm watching him, and the wind is blowing everywhere. I said, there's no way we're going to be able to read our notes here. So this is an opportunity at this point just to introduce the next central figure to Haverhill Heights, and certainly the city of Haverhill, is Mayor Fiorentini. If you could come up here and say.
Thanks, Governor, and I love the governor. Some of my Democratic friends get a little mad at me when I say that, but I think he's done a fantastic job. And I never want Haverhill to get into the national insanity of treating people who are on the other team as enemies or people in the other party. I never want that. I've heard the governor say many times that he grew up in a family where you had one passionate Democrat and one passionate Republican as your parents. I had the same thing, Governor. The only difference is it was the same guy in my family. My father went from being a diehard Republican who would never vote for a Democrat under any circumstance and badmouth the Democrats constantly, to switching parties when JFK ran, and being a diehard Republican, he spent the rest of his life arguing with his parents, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. So I heard both sides for all my life, and I think that's made us both more tolerant. I want to welcome everyone here, and I especially want to welcome Governor Baker. This building is a magnificent part of the new Haverhill we've been working so hard to build over the years. Now, this project only happened because we don't have the national insanity here. We worked the project. Now, we had a lot of success on the Washington, I'm going to take this off while I speak, Governor, I hope that's okay. We had a lot of success on the Washington Street section of downtown, but here on Merrimack Street, our city had 50 years of failure. And I don't know how you fit into the convertible stuff. But I said, Sal, buy this building to bid. And we did. The Lapoli Company bid on this land right here. This was a municipal parking lot. They bid on it, was the Haverhill City Council. Because if they hadn't voted for this project and voted on it several times, this would not have happened. And I want to publicly thank the Haverhill City Council here today. I think just about all of them are here. Councilor Joe Bevilacqua, Councilor Bill Masick, Councilor Tom Sullivan, Councilor Colin LePage. But all of the councilors, whether they're here or not, their vote for this made it happen. The key to public-private partnerships is private industry. All we can do as government is support the project. We can't make it happen. It takes private developers, and the key driver for this project, make no mistake about it, is that guy right there, Sal Lapoli. So, I saw him. He personally, he's a big company, but he personally spent hours and hours and hours recruiting developers, architects, engineers, companies, personally going and trying to buying up some of these other parcels around here and negotiating with them. And most importantly, committing millions of dollars to this project. It would not have happened, obviously, without you, Sal. Thank you for your investment. Thank you for your jobs. Thank you for all you've done for the city of Haverhill. Great job, Sal. Now, the public side of the partnership was in supporting the infrastructure. And one of the most important things was getting a major tenant in the property. And that came about with Northern Essex Community College agreeing to establish a Culinary Arts Institute and locating it here. A phenomenal job by their president, who's here today. Let's give him a round of applause. Where is he? Lane Glenn, there he is. Public dollars from the city, once again, I thank the council and the state, contributed to the infrastructure so that this could be built. The city contributed money, about $500,000, and the state put in millions of dollars in order for the infrastructure to be built, primarily the boardwalk and the parking section. None of this would have happened without a phenomenal legislative team that, first of all, put money in the budget, and secondly, helped lobby for it. And I want to thank them. I know Senator DeZoclio was here today. Representative Lenny Mira is here, our entire legislative delegation. But it wouldn't have happened without one guy who went up and lobbied for this project and for Harbor Place over and over, working on it. Former state representative and Ways and Means Chairman Brian Dempsey. But lobbying only works if there's someone to listen to you. Representative Dempsey got the ear of our great governor, Governor Baker. And Governor Baker, this project wouldn't have happened without you either. So thank you so much for your support of the MassWorks project development that made this happen. We hope that this isn't the end of the redevelopment of Haverhill, that is only the start. There's much more to go and many, many more things to happen. We'll talk about that another day. But But right now, we salute this phenomenal project that'll bring jobs to the city, bring people to the city, bring tax dollars to this.
But in lots of other industries as well. So we're grateful to have been able to partner with all these folks, and especially, and it's my pleasure now to introduce, and I'm going to give him a little longer introduction than he gave the governor, because I think he's more than earned it here this morning, one of the most important partners for us in this effort, Sal Lapoli. The city of Haverhill, Northern Essex Community College, the Merrimack Valley, Mr. Governor, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, really could not ask for a better business partner, for a better community leader in an effort like this than Sal Lapoli. For more than a decade now, my path, the path of Northern Essex, has intertwined with Lapoli companies in lots of wonderful ways. You heard the governor describing the Riverwalk project in Lawrence. We've been tenants in that space for a long time and helped watch it grow over the years. The Lawrence Partnership, an economic development organization in the city of Lawrence, that's the examples of ways that we've worked together over the years. So like so many people here on the lawn, here on the stage, in all the most important ways, not just to business projects, but to coaching Chelmsford football, to serving on a school committee, to showing up when he needs to make sure that things happen in communities where they're supposed to happen. So with all of that, it's my great pleasure to introduce our final speaker for today, Sal Lapoli.
Wow. So, first of all, thank you very much, Lane Glane, for that. Put this whole program together. But sometimes when Governor Baker comes up, his presence, his stature, it says it all, sir. So thank you very much. So that's why I was a little reserved in that. But I want to tell you, now is my opportunity to really talk about the entire program, my opportunity to talk about the entire team that helped put this together, and really the vision. So many times our organization puts that name, my name, out there in front. And really, Governor, I got to tell you the truth, everyone that's out here, we have 1,000 employees in our organization. We have an organization that started in September of 1990, and today, 30 years later, has built a legacy. And I always dreamed in this organization, I've always dreamed as part of my family, is to create a generational kind of a program, a generational kind of a business. And once we started in the hospitality business, which, Governor, it's 10% of the GDP of the entire country. So when you want to talk about hospitality, we are certainly, the Lapoli family, Sal's Pizza, we are certainly someone that can answer those questions. And that's why part of this, the reason this building exists, this organization exists. But I will tell you, the vision that we had here today, collectively, this shared vision that we started with you, Governor, and we started with the mayor, and we started with Lane Glenn, of how we can impact the community. It really starts with the people, Governor. It really starts with what this opportunity presents. You see, this opportunity presents by partnering with a community school. It gives the opportunity for inner city gateway residents to start to climb that economic ladder. And that's what the Lapoli companies are all about. You see, we're not just entrepreneurs. We're not just serial entrepreneurs. We're social impact entrepreneurs. We go to communities that we believe in. We partner with the state. We partner with the local establishment. We partner with the mayor or the city manager, and we create change. You know, just to let you know, a vast history on the Lapoli family. I was born in East Boston, one of 6 boys in an Italian family. My dad was sick much of his life. My mom worked 80 hours a week. You've heard that story. Both my parents, their parents passed away when they were still in their teens. Both my parents left school in order to support their family. And that DNA has passed through into the Lapoli family. That DNA has passed through into our organization. And we are so blessed that the people in our organization, they get it. They get that their purpose here is not just to provide and get a good job and take vacations and experience all those wonderful things in life. They understand in this organization that their purpose is to impact communities, impact other people that they haven't even met yet. So when you see a project like this, you have to understand, everybody, this project did not exist without Michael Kennealy, without this governor, without, Ed Pulaski, without Representative Brian Dempsey. All of those people that we're talking about, they all had their hands in this. And this is what happens when everybody comes together. Too many times the developer gets all the credit. But behind the developer is that public public-private partnership that creates jobs and makes a difference in people's families. You want to talk about economic engines? This is a poster child for economic engines. This poster child exists in a gateway city. It's servicing housing, market rate housing, workforce housing. It created and partnered with an education component. It's opening restaurants. It has mass hire. It checks all the boxes, but it wouldn't exist if the passion of the city council, the passion of local developers, the passion of this mayor, the passion of all the people involved in here that I wanted to thank when we want to talk about economic development, or we want to talk about, rising a building like this out of the ground in less than 15 months. Can you imagine, during the worst economic times of our lives, during the biggest pandemic this globe has ever seen, the governor was still cautious enough to allow essential projects to continue. This was an essential project: education, housing. And Governor, we're proud to tell you that we took that extremely seriously. We take everything you say extremely seriously. You know why? Because this project has all the vendors and all the contractors that built this project, and too many times we're in this kind of a situation and we don't recognize the people that actually built the building or suffered through the whole entire project. When it was raining, they was here. When it was snowing, they were here. We don't respect and thank the people that helped this project come to fruition, those hard-working contractors. And I am grateful. This organization is grateful because this project wouldn't exist without the electricians, without the carpenters, without the plumbers, without the people that brought the money to the table. We have the ability to partner with banks like Northern Bank. They're in a kind of an outfit, Governor, that took a look at Lawrence and said, Sal, with the vision you have, with the partners you have, how can we all not be successful? That's what happens when everybody comes together. That's what happens when you go through a project with passion. And that's what the Lapoli companies bring. We bring passion to the table. I promise you, no matter where we are, no matter what time of the day it is, we are creating change. This organization, the people that work in this organization, we create change. We impact people's lives. We're in Lowell, Lawrence, and Haverhill. The three biggest projects we have are the three most economically challenged cities north of Boston. You know why? Because I don't think I can take another breath and listen to other developers around the state that knock gateway cities. They knock gateway cities because they can't go in there and invest right away. They can't go make their double-digit return in 36 months and be out the door. Every project that you see, Governor, we're in that city in sometimes 20 years plus. We're buy and hold kind of a company. Why? Because we believe in the people, we believe in the city, we believe in the administration. Governor, there's so many other people I wanted to thank. There's so many other things that I wanted to talk about this project. But on behalf of my entire family, I never end an opportunity like this without thanking my mother, my father, my brother James, who we lost, my brothers, my wife, my beautiful daughter, my beautiful son, because those are the people that allow me to run to work. I actually run to work. I am thrilled. Every time I open my eyes, I have anxiety because I can't wait to get to work, because I know today is going to be better than yesterday. And when you partner with these state officials, I mean, this is not no, Sal, when it comes to our project. It's yes, how do we help you, Sal? And because of your leadership, because of your passion, because of your respect, because of your love of the state of Massachusetts and all of us that are here, because, Governor, I know you love this Commonwealth. I know, I can feel it when you talk to us. I can feel it when you talk to me. I can hear the word love in your voice. And I'll tell you what, I love this project. I love this city. I am grateful. I am humbled to be in your city. I promise to work really hard. I promise to have my employees give everything they can give. But most of all, I'm thankful for the people that we're going to create jobs in this program. I'm thankful for Mass Hire. I'm thankful for Lane Glenn and the institute that you're going to create here. I'm thankful that I get an opportunity to think of my mother and father every time I walk into this building and look at that sign. Because without people like that, we wouldn't be here. So on behalf of my entire organization, I apologize if I didn't thank you personally. I apologize to all my employees. I wish I could name every single one of them, because every single one of them, they're so near and dear to me. This company is so near and dear because of the impact. And Governor, I just can't tell how much I appreciate what you've done for us. Thank you, guys.
I'm sorry, say that again, Steve. Well, I guess I'd start by saying that there were obviously a lot of headwinds in this election, and